Yo, what is up? It's Pete Manzanelli and football is back. Football is back. It's time to get paid. It's time to get laid. It's time for ManzMaker. Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Pete Manzanelli, and welcome to the inaugural first ever episode of my new weekly DFS show, ManzMaker. That's right. Every week during the NFL seasons, I'm going to bring you all the relevant information and paralysis to help you win enough money to live like me. Hence the name ManzMaker. You get it. And for today's special preseason edition of ManzMaker, we have a truly prestigious guest from the Flower Hour podcast, John Proctor, and he's going to be joining me in a sec. But before we get to that, it's time for some news and booze. That's right, in this hit news segment, News and Booze, I will break down a relevant news topic in the world of daily fantasy sports while drinking some alcohol. So, cheers to you. Let's tap the Rockies, baby. Now, DraftKings recently announced the contest where you, the peasant, can win $1 billion. Did you hear me? $1 billion. This is in a free contest too. If you have a perfect lineups. That means the best player at every position for week 1. Now, when I first heard about this contest, I was certainly intrigued, okay? It very much sounds like an idea that I myself would come up with as CEO, which, as you remember, I applied for a little less than a year ago.
And we must be innovative too, okay? Which is why I will introduce, wait for it, a crepe and vape station for our employees.
I still haven't heard back. Now, I'm personally a millionaire, okay? And as Jason Timberlake once famously said, $1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool? Like $1 billion, I'm like an actor, but also like a musician. But then I got very excited again because I was thinking, if DraftKings has $1 billion just laying around to give to me, Pete Manzanelli, after I banked this contest, does that mean they have billions of dollars laying around for endless advertisements again this season? Because I'll just tell you what, TV hasn't been the same without those commercials, without the bros in the jerseys, fist pumping in the bars, and I think that's really burying the lead here, DraftKings. You guys are flush with cash, the ads are coming back, and I'm stoked, dude. But, again, this is a saga here. Then I realized, I haven't seen any of these ads yet, because surely I would see them if they had $1 billion laying around. So I read the fine print. Let's enhance on this. Can we enhance? As is common practice with these sort of promotions, DraftKings has ensured the Billion Dollar Lineup Challenge. What? You're telling me DraftKings doesn't even have $1 billion and would need a bailout after I banked this tournament? Are you kidding me? I couldn't, with a right conscience, be the one responsible for bankrupting DraftKings. And so, it is with a heavy heart that I am announcing I will not be fielding a perfect lineup in this contest. Instead, I will hit 8 of 9 perfect plays, with being just one shy away from the perfect lineup to ensure DraftKings remains flush with cash and to ensure the future of DFS for you, my fans, my subscribers, my viewers. Now it's time for Pete's tweet that brings the heat. And my tweet of the week was posted by none other than Ciara, who let her husband, Russell Wilson's, dress up like a guy who wasn't a virgin until like 10 months ago. Congratulations to you two. May every day be a fun Halloween experience where you can dress up. All right, everybody, we are now joined by a truly prestigious guest. He's like the co-host of the Flower Hour podcast. He's the Mac Daddy of Preseason DFS. Johnny Proctor, welcome to the ManzMaker program, my bro.
What's up, man? You ready for this big Thursday slate?
That's what we're talking. What are we looking at? 15 games here?
Yeah, dude. Well, 15 on DK because they they don't care about hurricanes, so they got rid of the Dallas game.
Yeah, did you hear that, DraftKings? You don't care about no, but I heard they're trying to smooth it over. They had a $5 contest. They're donating, so I think they smoothed out that PR disaster there.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, so like my audience, they know my affinity for these more low-profile DFS sports like NASCARs and WNBAs, and of course, preseason DFS. I feel like in past years, it's flown under the radar a little bit more, but now you and your bros at the Power Hour podcast, dude, preseason, it's all the rage now.
Dude, I know, man. I mean, it is blown up. We had enough people sign up that we got t-shirts.
Look at that, dude. Look at that, looking fresh. Dude, do you get this? Because I put out those videos, NASCAR with RotoDocs, I did WNBA with Michael Leones. I get people, no jokes, sliding into my DMs, asking me for WNBA advice. NASCAR, I can't imagine what your DMs and comments look like for preseason help.
It's a disaster, man. And because, we don't even know exactly what we're going to do until maybe an hour or two before the game's locked, so... Are
you hearing this, America? Stop sliding into Johnny Proctor's DMs asking him for preseason plays. No more. And but you will give these preseason plays away if they sign up and hop in your Slack chats, right?
Yeah, man. And it's been crazy, man. I mean, we had one of our subscribers won first place in the $6 for $20,000 the other week. It's been insane.
That's right. That's what we like to hear. Getting paid, getting laid. Now, I need to know, I kind of just crush all sports, so it's just kind of like a given, but you really seem to gravitate to preseason DFS. Tell me, how did you get on this main beat? Was it to impress a woman?
Actually, it's my girlfriend's least favorite time of the year because there's football 4 days a week instead of one.
Has your girlfriend ever introduced you to someone like, this is my boyfriend, he's really good at preseason DFS?
Jokingly, she thinks it's funny, but little does she know, it's it's a prestigious thing.
Let's we'll give the people what they want. They want to know how to crush preseason DFS. I'll first give kind of my tip of how I go about it. And here it's very simple. It's all you do is you play the best of the worst players, because the best players get rested, the worst players play and suck, but the best of the worst players play and do well. What do you think of my theory?
It's a good one. It's also you play the best white players because they're just not quite good enough to make the team, but playing against other white players, they're still pretty good.
Is there a scrappy corollary there as well? Are the white players just going after it more?
Oh yeah, man. So the Adam Thielens of the world, the Danny Woodheads,
Yeah. Have you been watching Hard Knocks?
Honestly, I've been trying not to because it messes with my preseason skills because I get locked in on these dudes who I see on TV.
Oh, dude, wait, are we hearing the preseason GOAT has fallen prey to an emotional bias of getting invested with the manufactured storylines on HBO's Hard Knocks?
It's true, man.
Yeah.
That's why I got to avoid it.
That's right. No, seriously, I'm sitting there watching Jeremy McNichols take a call in his hotel room from Snoop Dogg, and I'm like, Jeremy McNichols is going to rush for 2,000 yards.
Yeah, and then you find out in reality that the dude can't even understand the playbook.
Seriously, it sounds like he legit might get cut.
He might not make the team.
Dude, Dynasty Twitter's on mega tilt, dude. They loved McNichols.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so one of the most enjoyable things about playing preseason DFS, it's the random-ass dudes that are in the player pool. And I'm talking guys that you can toss out their name, and not even the most degen of degen NFL guys know these dudes. So I wanted to ask you, what is the most random player that you've played in DFS this preseason?
The most random would probably be, I guess, a guy who I try to play every year, but I ended up not playing him last week. There's a guy named Raheem Mostert, and unless you play preseason DFS, you don't know who he is, and we refer to him as Raheem Mustard because he's a preseason gem, man.
I like that. I think my boy Adam Levitons has been on the Mostert train too, if I recall correctly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was cheering for him in a bar during a preseason game, and people thought he was a super weirdo.
That's right. Well, he is a super weirdo, but maybe this was an extra super weirdo situation. No, just kidding. Love you, Levitons. I'll give you a few of mine. I was looking at this slate coming up here for Thursday. J.D. McKissick. You familiar with that dude?
We actually wanted to play him one week, but he had an injury. He wasn't able to play.
Okay, maybe keep an eye out. Here's another one for you. Taquan Mazzell.
Yeah, man. Mazzell's been tearing it up.
There we go. Like I said, dude, super random, but also super great, apparently. And one more for you. Daquan Hampton.
That's one that not too familiar with. That must mean that he's probably not going to make the team in the least.
I like that dude's name because one of his names is just like super black and the other name is just like super white. Daquan Hampton.
He's a wide receiver, right?
Yeah, dude, sure. Whatever you say. Whatever you say. The nice thing about these players is you could just make it up, dude. You can be like, oh, he's like a tweener, tight end, fullback kind of guy, and nobody can check your math on it. Nobody's Googling Daquan Hampton, dude. You just say whatever you want.
I'm Googling these guys. That's literally what we do.
That's
we
true.
Just Google them.
That's your tell me, so what is you're Googling them? Are you just scouring for news articles, like local beat reports? Are you doing investigative reporting? Are you sifting through trash cans? What are you doing?
Dude, basically, like, I will tweet these dudes' girlfriends. I will tweet their cousins. I mean, if I can find something out, like, if you can't find out an injury, we'll just ask whoever we can, find out if they're hurt.
Have you gotten any responses back from players' family members?
Once. I don't remember who it was, but I did once last year. They told me he was good to go, and then he didn't play, so it wasn't very reliable.
Well, I hope you guys are hearing that. If you want to get your toes wet in the waters and you don't want to be on Johnny Proctor's side, it means you're going to have to be in those streets, knocking on doors, asking grandmas if their grandson's going to be playing in week 4 of preseason. That's just what you got to do.
It is, man. It's gross out here.
So we're talking about, we got this big slate coming up on Thursday. It's the last week of the preseason. Like you said, DraftKings has 15 games. Are there any situations, any games, any things that are particularly interesting to you? I know you're still kind of formulating your thoughts about this slate, but maybe something early that jumps out.
Yeah, I think one that's obvious, and it's fortunately not on DraftKings because they don't have the Dallas game, but this Cooper Rush kid on Dallas might be beating out Kellen Moore for his job, and there's a chance he might play the whole game, and it's really nice to look at on FanDuel at least.
Cooper Rush. Now that dude sounds like he plays lacrosse. I'm just gonna say it right there. How does Cooper Rush not play lacrosse?
He should. He's like real white. He's got red hair. He's like the next Andy Dalton.
So between him and Cooper Kupp, is there enough rooms in this world, in this NFL world, for 2 white Coopers?
And honestly, the best part about it is that when you hear Cooper Kupp, you think, man, like his dad named him to be a quarterback. And that's like what one of my friends was saying the other day. And then you look him up and like he did play quarterback in high school.
Excellent. So when it comes to preseason DFS, everybody knows kind of like the typical DFS stuff, stacking, maybe running back defense corollaries. Are there any like kind of big picture things that are maybe really different than how you approach preseason versus regular season DFS?
Yeah, so you don't care, like you might have 4 players on offense from one team and you're still playing the defense because you want the defense against maybe the quarterback who's going to play the second half, but you want all the players from the first half, and that defense could still score you 20 points, when they destroy the terrible quarterback in the second half, like Christian Hackenberg or somebody like that.
What are some like thresholds? Like, what's a great amount of carries for your running back to get in preseason?
If they get 10, they really got a lot of carries. Sometimes though, in week 4, if a team is down to 1 or 2 running backs, you might get 15 on this week.
And how about targets for a wide receiver or tight ends?
I mean, you're hoping to get, 4 or 5. You're really hoping to get a red zone target is what you're hoping for, and they don't drop it.
Excellent. Well, it's now the time in the program where I'm unveiling a new challenge that I am going to propose to each of my guests. It's called the 69 Challenge. And look, like the Manz crushes everybody in heads to head. So this year he's kind of wanting to tie his hand behind his back. This is how it works. I'm going to challenge my guest on DK DraftKings to a head-to-head challenge. I will toss out my 3 worst scores, meaning I'm collectively only playing 6 guys versus your 9 full lineup. Do you accept this challenge for this week 4 preseason slate?
Yeah, man. Bring it on, man.
Let's do it. But there are some stakes, okay? The loser has to shout the other one out on Twitter. You can do it in just the written word. You have to say something along the lines of Manz is the premier preseason DFS player of our generation. And if I were to lose, and it's just a massive if, I will record a little video shouting out the Flower Hour podcast and to subscribe and yada, yada, yada.
Hey, man. Bring it.
All right, dude. I'll send that head-to-head over here. I really appreciate your time. I know you mentioned you guys got, are you still selling a sub for this preseason, or are you on to regular season?
Preseason we closed because too many people were sort of eating each other in the tournaments because they're so small. It was a little strange to say it that way. But regular season we are still open for business if anyone's interested in tagging along.
Yeah, and actually, very APRA Pros, I thought I saw you guys $69 for your full season subscription.
Absolutely.
That's like a very nice number. I don't know if you've heard.
It's very nice.
Well, excellent. Where can people also follow you on Twitter? What's your handles?
It's John Proctor DFS.
Excellent, man. Well, I hope we gave you guys all the keys to crushing this slate. Make sure you're in the Slack chat over there. You're going to get all the breaking news, but also play nice because it sounds like you guys are eating each other alive too. You know what I'm saying?
We are, man. We are.
All right. Thank you, Johnny's. Appreciate it.
For sure, man. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you very much to my guest, Johnny Proctors, for coming on. Be sure to check out thepowerhourpod.com for him and his buddy Ryan Hodges' DFS advice. And I want to tell you another little segment I'm going to be doing here on the show. We're going to have a Manz Fans of the Week. I like to give back to my fans. So if you think you deserve to be the Manz Fans of the Week, drop me a line on Twitter at Pete Manzanelli and tell me why you deserve the Manz Fans of the Week honors to be featured right here. All right, that's it. Enjoy preseason. Next week, we'll be back for week 1 of the NFL season. I'm your boy, Pete Manzanelli. Get subscribed up. It's going down.